Hello students, today we will start our next topic that is related with the report writing. Formats of report. Your report may have any one of the following formats like manuscript, pre-printed form, letter, memo. So when we will talk about this manuscript format, men written in script. So this is the most commonly used format for reports and is generally used for reports that are formal. The length of such reports can range from a few pages to several hundred. Further, manuscript form can be used for all types of reports. Like the types of reports we have discussed earlier, informational, analytical or routine reports. As the length increases, these reports include more elements such as abstract, summary, appendix, glossary and so on. Next is, this is the most commonly used format for reports and is generally used for reports that are formal. The length of such reports can range from a few pages to several pages. And manuscript can be used for all the types of reports. So the things which we have to remember about these manuscript reports, that it's a formal report, can be used for all the types, can range from few pages to any number. Yes. Pre-printed form. What is this pre-printed form? Reports containing routine matter and which are periodical in nature may be written in a form prescribed by the organization. As the word is showing, pre-printed form. Form means something having blank and we need to fill it. Yes. So reports containing routine matter. So these are generally used for routine matter. Yes. Nature is periodic. And a form is prescribed to fill this routine matter. So all you need to do is to fill in the blanks in a pre-printed form. So what we do, just we fill the blanks in a pre-printed form. So students, pre-printed form means the reports containing routine matter and which are periodical in nature and may be written in a form prescribed by the organization. Generally, the organizations like to have their printed formats and they just distribute these forms to the people and they just fill the information in the blanks. The next is letter format. Letter reports are important written documents. These are important written documents. Important written documents that present technical or business information as well as problems in the format of a business letter. The only difference between business letters and letter report is in organization of content. Like in a letter we organizes the contents, we also organize the contents in a report. So this organization of contents is very, yes, so organization of content in the writing style. So all parts of a business letter are used here except the inside address, which is often omitted in form letters. So especially those sent to a large number of people. This style of writing is based on facts, but it does have a personal touch in the use of pronouns and sustains the reader's interest by showing them courteous considerations. So the only difference is that while writing a letter report, we omit the inside address. It is fact based. It must be fact based. Yes, we use here the format of a business letter. Yes. So it's very clear for you people that the contents of a business letter are the contents of a letter report. The first paragraph in a letter report mentions the purpose of the survey. So far as we will discuss the structure, the first para includes the purpose. The first para of a letter report mentions the purpose of the survey and introduces the subject of the report. The purpose and the subject. Yes. It catches the reader's interest because he or she is affected by the problem. The next two sections of the report present the important result of the survey. The important result of the survey. And their analysis from the reader's viewpoint. So the third, this is the second and this is the third, will be about the result of the survey and their analysis. From the reader's viewpoint. So emphasis here is placed on the way the result affect the reader. The survey findings convince the reader that he or she should follow the suggested policy given at the end, that of maintaining fully stocked shelves. The report also accomplishes its major purpose. This report follows the simple organizational pattern of beginning with the introduction, presenting facts, interpreting facts, and ending with the recommendation. Okay, so we can say that This pattern just begins with introduction, yes, presenting facts, interpreting facts, and ending with recommendation. A pattern used generally in short, informal reports. Another commonly used organizational pattern follows the patterns like authorization, statement of problem, summary of findings, development of a report, conclusion and recommendations. Yes, so here we can also say that authorization in the beginning. So authorization, a statement of the problem. A statement of the problem, summary of findings, development of report, yes, summary of findings, and recommendation. So generally these are the contents of a letter report which you people need to know, that when you will start to write down a report in this particular format. Yes, so this will be written in a letter format and you have to let the inside address and everything will be the same as you follow in business letters, and it will be generally divided into 4 to 5 parts. Like you will introduce the topic, means the statement of problem, then you will present the facts, and then you will analyze or interpret the facts, and then you will end it up with your recommendations, means your suggestions. Students, after reading out these different formats, we will learn the structure of a long report. Yes, the structure of reports. So just as several organs constitute our body, various elements combine together to structure a report. Knowing these elements will help you in writing your reports better. Though 19 elements are listed after this discussion, you need not use all of them in a report. While some of them may be included in all reports, some may find a place only when your report gets published. However, you can select the elements of a structure keeping in mind some parameters like its usefulness, terms of reference, existing practice. So its usefulness means usefulness refers to the need for including any particular element. Usefulness means need for including any particular element. For example, when you write an informational report, you do not require a section or recommendation. Similarly, when you report, when you prepare a report in a pre-printed format, you need not even include any of the elements. Yes, so all you need is just is to just fill in the columns in the form. Yes, so its usefulness means there are lots of elements which may be included in a report, but these elements will be decided just seeing their need in the document or need in the report. Yes, as we have given one example, that if you are writing down a report on the pre-printed letter format, so there is no need to write down any specific content, because you have already a form and you need to just fill it out. Next is terms of references, means it tells you the objectives of a report, that what is the objective of a report, and in the terms of reference require you to suggest some measures for improving the situation. You need to include a section on recommendations, otherwise you can stop with the section on conclusions. So though you have several elements to constitute a report, even existing practice also. So though you have several elements to constitute a report, you are supposed to consider the existing practice in your organization in terms of producing reports. That is to say, if your organization does not require an abstract or summary for a report, you can omit them. Yes, so it depends that what is the system in an organization, what they want actually, or how many contents they like to have. So it depends. So just see the elements or this structure of a report. Elements of a structure of a report. So we will discuss here all the elements. See here, cover page, title page, certificate, acknowledgements, contents, list of illustrations, abstract. Cover page, title page, certificate, acknowledgements, contents, list of illustration, abstract. These are known as prefatory parts. After this, introduction, discussion, conclusions, recommendations, these are the contents of main text. Appendix, or appendices, plural. References, bibliography, glossary. These are the contents of supplementary parts. Frontispiece, letter of transmittal, copyright notice, preface, summary, index. These are the contents known as optional elements. So again we will begin from the beginning. See the contents as prefatory parts, means if it depends at what you need to have in your text. As students, I have told you that it depends on your choice that which content you like to have in it. Secondary, the contents are totally dependent on the need that which you need to have in your report. And generally, if a report is going to get published, you can have all the contents. So it is not necessary that you are including all the contents. So they have their own nature, like these are the prefatory if you prefer. This is the main text. These are the supplementary contents, like if you want to supply some extra information to your students, so you can give these. Yes, and there are some optional elements if you want to. Yes, so there are certain contents which are just attached or which are written or given in your report as per the need. Okay, so just it is totally dependent on the requirement that which content you are having in that. So we will begin with the meaning of each content, whether it is necessary or whether it is optional or supplementary. So we will begin from the cover page. It's very simple and easy. Everybody know that what is a cover page. Yes. So a cover page is a page which covers your main text or manuscript from any kind of damage. The cover of your report not only gives it an elegant appearance but also protects it from damage. It also serves as a quick reference to the readers to know the topic and the author of the report. The classification of a report and report number may also be mentioned on the cover page on the top of left corner and right corner respectively. To arouse the curiosity of the reader, you may have it on this cover page some illustrations such as photographs, drawings, diagrams, etc., provided these illustrations reflect the contents of a report. Okay, for example, a report on designing web pages can have a web page on the cover. Okay, and any such illustration is known as frontispiece, as in the optional element you have seen here, frontispiece. Frontispiece, any photograph, any picture, okay, etc. So this is known as frontispiece, and where it comes in your first content, it comes on the cover page. So why we need to have a cover page with the report? Because it saves our manuscript from any kind of damage. So title page just represents the title. It's very clear for you students. The title means the title or the subject of the main text. Okay, so where you have the title, it is known as the title page. And we will talk about the certificate. So you can see in the page that there is generally one heading certificate, and you can see this is to certify that the project entitled this embodies the original work done by this under my supervision. So a certificate can be issued to the particular text or report Yes, by the author and by the supervisor with the signature. Acknowledgement is generally the thanks by the writer. And this is the list. This is a list of persons who you would like to thank for their advice, support, assistance of any kind. Acknowledgement. Contents. So all the text generally having the content list of contents, and it generally shows you the contents with their page numbers. You can go directly. So title page has the title. Certificate is given by the supervisor with the signature. Acknowledgement. Thanks. Thanks to whom? To the people who helped you while writing that particular report. Contents. List of contents. It's a list with page number. You can see the page number also. List of illustrations. This serves as the content space for all the illustrations which appear in your report. So illustrations having the graphs, maps, drawings, charts, etc. And abstract. An abstract gives the essence of your report. The business report, it is known as in business report it is known as a synopsis. Yes, the length of an abstract is generally 1 to 5% of a report. The length and readership of your report decide whether an abstract is to be included or not. So if your report is less than 10 pages, it does not require either abstract or summary. It is totally dependent on the length. Okay. Introduction, the simplest term. What is introduction, students? Introduction is just when you introduce your main text. Discussion, when you follow this introduce after introduction and then discussion, when you say something in very detail with parts and subparts. Conclusion itself decides that what are the findings and conclusions. Recommendations are the suggestions. If required. So introduction, a short introduction about the topic, then topics, discussion in parts and subparts with examples, illustrations, elaborations, conclusions, coming to the conclusion, and if there is a need to give suggestions, so you can also add this part recommendation. Yes, so it's very simple that main text includes all these things. And when we will talk about the supplementary part, so you will see the first word appendix, and appendices is the plural of this word appendix. And this section of your report is used for information which is some relevance to the report but cannot be easily fitted into the text. I mean to say that you can't have these supplementary parts into this main text. So appendix, this section of your report is used for information which is some relevance to the report but cannot be easily fitted into the main text. So it is a convenient way of presenting detailed information, particularly of a descriptive nature, which if interested in the main body, would be written at the end of the report. Like you can have these informations at the ending part of your report if there is a need. And references is generally references and bibliography. These two are the list of the sources. Yes, sources means there are two types of sources for the reader. The types of sources which you read only, which you read only for help, and another source from where you quote examples or matter or facts. Yes, so the name or the list of sources which you consult only, the name of sources which are consulted only are known as bibliography. And the content and the sources from where you take some examples, take the name of references. and their formatting is like these two lists are alphabetically arranged, alphabetical order of the name of the sources with their page number, especially in references, text name, writer's name, publication, etc. So everything you have to give in them. Okay, and so far as copyright notice means all the rights have been deserved by the writer, so it's quite optional. If you want to give, you can give it, especially it is given in the text which are published and read by the people. Preface, it comes generally in the first part of a report which introduces the text. Summary means the whole in short. It comes in the first part of a report. It is quite optional if you want to summarize your report. So it's a matter in long reports. If you are writing down a longer report, so you must give a summary in the beginning, because it saves your time. If you don't want to go to the long report, so you can read the summary. It will tell you everything in very short. Yes, and index is the content which is like table of contents, and by going to this index you can find out the graphs, the maps and charts directly with their page numbers. Yes, students. So students, today we have discussed the format of a long report. It has prefatory parts, main text, supplementary parts, optional elements, so we will divide a long report into three parts. Be very careful and see it concentrately. Front matter, main matter. On the basis of these, main matter, back matter. Front matter, introductory. Like you will include in this your cover page, your title page, table of contents, acknowledgements, abstract and summary. And when you will come to this main matter, it will include introduction, discussion, conclusion, and optional is recommendation. Back matter include references, bibliography, appendix, glossary. Glossary means if there is a need. Yes, we have not discussed earlier, but I am telling you that this can also be given in a report or a text. Glossary means the table or the list of difficult words with their meaning at the end of your text or report. So a long report is generally divided into three parts: front matter, main matter, back matter. Front matter means, as I have written here, introductory part. Again, I am using this term here in the main matter. Introduction is the complete introduction of the discussion. Introduction means that you are telling about what is the title. Yes, and preface, abstract and summary. So everything is you are giving. Yes, it is also working as an introduction, where you are giving the preface and title and summary or abstract. Yes, so these are the contents of a long report. So today we have completed everything about what are the formats of a report. Formats like pre-printed, memo, letter. Yes, and this is the format.